Get ready with me, but to clean makeup brushes. That's right, we're gonna just spend some time talking and cleaning our makeup brushes. 'Cause I don't know about you, but I'm definitely somebody who doesn't always do these as often as I should. And personally, I find it very therapeutic. I love cleaning my brushes when I'm watching like a movie or whatever on TV, and I'm just there cleaning aimlessly. And I find it just very relaxing. And the next day when I'm getting ready to use my brushes, it just feels so nice to have clean makeup brushes. These have been in travel bags, makeup bags, my bathroom, so they definitely need a thorough cleaning. So let's go over the supplies that you're gonna need. I have this cleaning makeup brush spray from Sephora. It's called Refresh. I love a spray bottle because I just literally just spray and clean. So that's what I mean by cleaning. I'm not really shampooing and washing them in my sink at the moment, so this will have to do. So Refresh spray from Sephora. All the makeup brushes that you have lying around that you've been meaning to give a clean. And then I like to use paper towels. So we're keeping it simple. You only need 3 items: makeup brushes, spray, and paper towels. Let's get started. I like to take a paper towel and I like to double it so that it's a little bit more durable. When I put the spray on, it doesn't completely go through the paper towel. So that's what I do. You can double, a triple, and quadruple fold these as you like. But then what I will do is, and maybe for this first round, because sometimes I find I have to do a couple of rounds of cleaning the brush, we're just gonna then double fold again. So we have some extra durable paper towels. And then you're gonna take your spray, and then I just spray it on my paper towel. And I'll be honest with you, I learned this from somebody who worked at Sephora. This is, sorry, that spray got in my face. This is how she was kind of her little cheat sheet for how to clean the brushes quickly. So you sprayed it, you take your brush, and as you start to circle around on the paper towel in the damp spot, you'll see the color just come off. This is so, I don't know what the word is. Oh my gosh, you can tell this brush needed a clean. So anyway, while we're doing this, I'll tell you a little bit about why I am here, why I'm creating content on YouTube, and hopefully you find it interesting. I would say, like, I didn't grow up with any artistic or creative adults around me, except for like maybe a few. I'd say my aunt is probably quite creative. And my mom too, in her own way. I guess my dad too. But again, it's like not the traditional creative sense, but they are creative. Don't get me wrong. I'm back here on YouTube because I am eager to create more content. I have always wanted to be better at it, and I just haven't had the time, and I feel like now it's now or never. I've always found creating content a little bit of a creative outlet for me. I didn't really grow up in the creative space per se, and then all the roles that I've had work have always been a little bit more traditional. I was researching for a little, I was consulting for a bit, and those roles, as much as I enjoyed them and found them very rewarding, they didn't really allow for much of a creative outlet for me. And I always found myself gravitating towards whether it's marketing or graphic design. Even though I had not studied or taken any type of courses or lessons around how to do that sort of thing, I just found myself, as I like to say, digitally curious. So I was always interested in that sort of thing, and I always say to this day, knowing what I know now, if I were probably live my life a second time around, I would end up doing some sort of creative role, whether it's like website design, graphic design, something creative, maybe even interior designing. I've always had a fascination for that. But again, these were never jobs or roles that I thought were possible or could be a job. So it's only through all these jobs that I have had that I kind of fell into this passion of mine that involved me creating content. Didn't know the first thing about what creating content is. Still learning like how to do this whole creating content on YouTube. Did start a blog a few years back around exploring the hidden gems of Los Angeles, and really self-taught how to run a website, how to do my social media, how to design things on Canva. Again, I always found myself very passionately curious to learn, especially self-learn, because I don't know about anybody else. I'm a first gen, and I find that first gen, eldest daughter, that sort of theme always lends itself to being resourceful. I was always the new kid when my family and I moved around to different countries and schools. So I think a part of me has always felt like I have to figure it out for myself. Thanks to YouTube, I was able to discover, how to do things. And so I'm so grateful for all the other content creators that are on here as sharing their knowledge, sharing their experiences, their tips and tricks and guidance, because it's really helped me get to where I am today, which is standing in front of you, cleaning my makeup brushes and telling you my story. So that's what really brought me back to YouTube. Was I thought, I'm going to give this a go. I don't know the first thing about it. I don't have a team. I invested in some equipment, which I know like all the advice says don't worry about the equipment, and it's true. Some of, I would say, my more popular content that I have shared has been with my iPhone. So you really don't need a lot of equipment. What you need is just the ability to tell your story and feel like it's sincere and authentic and it's true to you. And so that's why, again, I'm here sharing my story while we clean brushes, because this is literally something that I would be doing in the evening. So I figured, why not do it together? I hope you're cleaning your brushes. I've already gone through 2 brushes and you can see, look at me, you can see where I've sprayed. But look, this is, I don't know about you, but I find this so like relaxing and therapeutic. Okay, let's get a new one. I'm gonna like rub, can you see it? Ah. I should probably be separating the ones I'm cleaning. Gosh, it is crazy to think how much makeup gets accumulated on these things. And I was using my makeup brush recently and I was like, man, these makeup brushes need a good wash. I typically will clean my brushes. It's crazy how much gets accumulated on these. It's almost back to its original color. What was I saying? Ah, yes. I will usually rub the makeup brush into the towel till the point that it almost comes out clear. So to me, it's like obvious that we're getting there as far as cleaning goes. And you can usually tell like on the brush itself how clean it is. Like I should have done a before and after of this makeup brush, but it had a lot of foundation on it. And now it's practically, it feels so good. It's practically clean. She clean. Okay, great. Anyway, back to my story. Oh, and that's the other thing I will do. I will take a paper towel, a clean one, and I will lay it down on a flat surface, and that is where I will lay the clean brushes that I've properly cleaned. And then I'll get another paper towel and do the same thing that I did. Fold it, quadruple fold it, and then I'll just spray. I'm going to spray away because the spray gets in my face. Oh my gosh, we're going to do the blush brush. This one's desperate for a clean. Now it's coming through. Here I am on YouTube because I want to just try to hold myself more accountable to creating more content. In my day-to-day, I find myself supporting other creators, creating content, and I'll be honest with you, I'm just tapped out by the end of the day. And so I've just found in the past it's been easier for me to empower, cheerlead, and support other creators on their endeavors, and realized that I would like to do the same for myself. Just kind of knowing what I know. I figured, like, why not do that with YouTube? So here we are, cleaning brushes, hanging out. Do you have a drink? I'm almost done with mine, but I got a Coke Zero, and I've started. I'll have to get the creator's name, but on TikTok, she introduced me to these like lemon crystal packets. They look like sugar packets, but they're not. It's just powdered, crystallized lemon. And I now put those in my Coke Zero. Total game changer. I never used to be a Diet Coke or Coke Zero fan. I've always been like a true Coca-Cola. If I'm going to have a Coke, it's going to be the regular normal Coke. And even better, the Mexican Coke bottle ones. But I recently got into the Diet Cokes, and just adding those lemon crystal things into the Diet Coke or Coke Zero have changed the flavor altogether. It tastes really good. Okay, so here we are. This one's looking good. I'm going to give this another spray just to be safe and really get it clean, because let's be real, I don't know how soon I'll be washing these again, or yeah. So looks so good. So that's kind of what I've been doing. A little about me. I live in Los Angeles. I've been here longer than I thought I would be. I actually lived in London for some time, and a job opportunity brought me to Los Angeles. I'm originally from the Northern California area, and so I never saw myself living in Los Angeles. And I always say never say never. And when the job in London had me relocating to LA, I was a little bit not too keen on the idea, only because I had these preconceived notions or ideas around what LA people were like, what LA as a city was like. Bear in mind, I'd barely been here, so I really had no clue. It was all just based on what I had seen. I pictured it to be a lot of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Figured everybody was going to be walking around with plastic surgery and duck lips. And there is that. But there were parts of LA that I think if I ever moved, I would truly, truly miss. And the friends that I've made here, granted, none of them are actually from LA. Actually, I lie. One of them is. But she's amazing and now lives in Oregon. But the friends that I've made here are just amazing. And so for me, I have so much to be grateful for over the years living here in LA as a city. I feel like she's a city that it's not love at first sight. You kind of have to earn your way with Los Angeles. And when I moved here, I didn't know anybody. So I was going to meetups and trying to meet people and getting involved in beach volleyball, all the things just to try to mix and mingle. And it was hard. I would say I didn't really make friends truly until about my second year here. And I had an amazing roommate at the time who was so sweet. She would invite me to things, and that was great. But I also felt like I needed to create my own circle of friends to make sure that I wasn't solely relying on her to introduce me to people. So I got involved in sports, I did some meetups, and I gradually began to meet people. And then other people were really good about introducing me to other people that said, hey, I think you might like my friend. So I have a lot of things to give to those people who put me in touch with now some of my dearest and nearest friends that I truly love and adore, who I met here in LA. So had it not been for me moving here, I may never have met them, or our paths may have never crossed. So I'm truly grateful for that. And I think overall, LA, as I said, it's a city of, I always describe it to people who visit or people who are looking to visit, that LA is a city of villages. And once you find your village and your people, I think everything changes. And each village or area has its own vibe, truly. So I would say even the west side, which is by the beach, is very different than the east side, which is east of what we call the 405 here in LA. So it's this one highway or freeway, depending on what you use, highway or freeway that cuts right down the middle. So there's east and west of the 405. And it truly feels like a different state sometimes when you're visiting or you moved. So when I first moved to LA, I lived in Venice Beach, which was lovely. If anybody's familiar with Northern California, the Berkeley area, I used to describe Venice as Berkeley on the beach. I used to live in Berkeley, and so for me it felt like Venice Beach was basically Berkeley on the beach. And then over the years I found myself spending a lot of time on the east side of LA. So that is where you have West Hollywood, Los Feliz, Silver Lake, Echo Park, those areas, and super east, Highland Park. And I found myself just hanging out there a lot. And so I figured when the time came and I was ready to move out from Venice, I thought I would explore the east side. And sure enough, I found a place in East LA-ish area, and I've never looked back. So Super glad. How are those brushes coming along? I know mine are doing really well. Guys, I'm getting through quite a bit. I only have these many left to clean now. I hope you're keeping up. Okay, let's do the big, oh my gosh, more. Ooh. Guys, our makeup is gonna look so good when we use these clean brushes the next day. Like, it is the most rewarding feeling. For me, it's the next day. That's like when I really love, I like go into it with my brushes being like, I am a new person. And honestly, I feel like your makeup goes on even better. So, okay, this is like a really big one that I need to clean. So let's see how it does. Oh, so satisfying, right? So satisfying. Yeah, so LA, that is my story. And if you really want to go back, way back to my story, I'm not American. I don't know that that surprises some people. Maybe it does. Because if you watch my content enough, there are probably words and terms that I'm going to use that you're like, why is she talking like that? And I'd say it's because of my upbringing and the fact that I lived in Europe for a bit. So for those who don't know, I am actually not American. At least not American born. I was born in Bogota, Colombia. And yes, I do speak Spanish. My mom is Peruvian. My dad is Scottish. And we moved around a lot as a kid growing up because of my dad's work. It took us to different countries. And so I ultimately grew up between, well, both worked and lived and was educated in Europe and California, as far as the US goes. After college, a few years after college, I then decided I wanted to go back and live in Europe. So I ended up back in London. I did some work there for a few years, and then I got the opportunity to relocate back to Los Angeles for a work opportunity that I mentioned earlier. So that is my story as far as what am I. I definitely feel like my heart is in two places. I feel very much European when I'm in Europe, and then feel very American when I'm here. And then likewise, when I'm in Europe, sometimes there's things about the US that I missed, especially when I was living there. And then now that I'm here, there's things about Europe that I miss. So I genuinely feel like I'm a citizen of the world. My heart is all over the place. And let's not forget my South American roots. So even when we go to South America and I visit with family, there's just something culturally that I love about that as well. I've spent time in Mexico City. I've spent time in Peru. We've visited Colombia. So there's so many things that like I just love about each culture. So it's truly, I feel, representative, and I feel like my heart is in each of these cultures, both South American, Europe, the US, that I love. And I just feel very fortunate to have had the experience to be exposed to living in these countries, these different cultures, the people, and everything. And yeah, and just having also that second language has really proved to be very beneficial. And like I said, there's probably some words I'm going to use that you're wondering to yourself, why is she talking like that? And it's because it slips into my vocabulary based on my upbringing and where I've lived. I'm on my second to last brush now, guys, so I hope you're keeping up. Let me know how it's going. Let me know in the comments too if you end up actually cleaning all your brushes, because I'm telling you right now, you're gonna love it when they're clean tomorrow morning. Forget where we left off. Anyway, on my last brush, we gonna rub real well. And there we go. Anyway, that's my life story, just so you know. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't get over. Let me give this one just another proper brush. I have to like spray away because the smell just chokes me up. This one's a really, I feel like you can still see some of the blush color in the brush, and it's definitely coming out here on the paper towel. But like I said, I've been laying them all. This is my mic thing that I'm testing out. Okay, guys, we have cleaned. I'm gonna gather all my brushes and then I'm gonna lay them out again. We have cleaned all our brushes. Oh no, I'm dropping them. Anyway, we've cleaned all our brushes and I think we've done a really good job. if I may say so myself. Hopefully you've gone through all your brushes. They're clean, they're ready for use, and hopefully you've learned a little bit more about me. So if you like this type of content, we're going to kind of see where this goes. I'm going to continue to upload videos that hopefully you'll enjoy and get something out of, and more importantly, get to know me. And I really think if you stuck around till the end of this video, hopefully you've enjoyed this moment that we've had together, and if anything, I've inspired you to clean your makeup brushes. So give me a like, subscribe, and it would mean the world to me. Thank you so much.